Successful people do the things that failures won't. Hey, weird, rich, normal, poor. Stuff like this sounds weird. It's like, I don't know. Should I really be doing these incantations? And like, how do I change my state and all these things? Well, that's what the masses aren't focused on. That's what society doesn't want you to think about. They want you to keep you, they want to keep you angry. They want to keep you in fear. They want you looking external outside of you. That's the way it goes. But if you can shift your focus and say, I need to change my state. I need to shift my focus. I need to work on my physiology. I need to work on my identity. And you go to work working on yourself. That's when life changes, ladies and gentlemen. That's when life changes. This is just another reminder that this is a game of you versus you. It's a brand new month. Who cares about what's happening around? There's a lot of things happening right now, but this is a game of you versus you. How well are you performing? How well are you thinking about these things? Let's go through them. Let's go through them so that you can pay attention. Number one, we got to ultimately change our state, our emotional state, how we operate emotionally. That's what's going to get you to the life you don't need a break from. It's if you learn how to improve your state. Stop allowing the external things to change your state. Oh, they made me angry. Oh, this person made me do this. No one makes you do anything. You control your attitude and your actions. No one controls that. You get to choose your attitude towards something. You get to choose your actions you take towards something. You get to choose that. So we have to pay attention. Now, what did Tony Robbins say we do? First, we got to pay attention to our physiology, how we move our body, how our body is in general. Think about it. Your emotional state. What emotions are you experiencing on a day-to-day basis? Because these are the things that will take you to or take you away from the life you're trying to experience. Is whatever you feel on a day-to-day basis. We call it your emotional home. So if your emotional home is typically joyful, grateful, excited, right? Your body is probably doing something similar. You're probably moving, you're probably smiling, you probably have great posture, you're probably breathing better, you're probably at the gym, you're probably doing things. That's why you can stay in a state like that. But think about the other side. When you're not feeling great, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling down and lonely, what's your body doing? You're probably in the bed. You're probably watching TV. You're probably slumped over, right? You're not moving. You're not active. That's one of the number one things you could pay attention to if you want to change your state. It's just move your body. Get out, take a walk. Right, move, do some push-ups, jumping jacks. Just move your body in some different way, and you will feel differently. It's not just going to fall on you. You got to work at this stuff. You got to work on this stuff, but try it. The next time you're feeling depressed, the next time you're feeling angry, down, whatever the emotional home you're experiencing that's not helping you get to the life you want, the next time you're feeling it, go change your physiology. Go move your body differently. Get up from your desk. Get out of your bed. Get out of your house. Like move and then see what happens. This is how you train your body. This is how you train your brain, ladies and gentlemen. Success leaves clues. We're not making this stuff up. You got to actually practice it. Unless you want to stay in your emotional home, which many of us do. Many of us want to stay depressed and down and unhappy. But if you don't, go change your body. Number two, fix your focus. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. You got to fix your focus. What are you focused on? If you're focused on the good things of life, you're focused on, again, why do I always tell you? Flood your mind with gratitude in the morning. It's a habit. It's training you to fix your focus every morning. Start your day with the right focus every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We all got problems. We all have things, challenges, adversities, all the stuff. But what are you focused on? You focus on the challenges, you get more. You focus on the great things, you get more of that. Just about your focus. And he put in there what you focus on, you'll feel, right? Focus equals feelings. So stop focusing on your challenges. Stop focusing on the problems. Stop focusing on the adversity. Stop focusing on the lack. Stop focusing on the fears. Stop focusing on what you don't have. Stop focusing on, right, the problem. Stop focusing on that stuff. It doesn't mean they go away, but you don't have to feel them. Focus on the other side. Focus on your future. Focus on your vision. Focus on your why. Focus on your happiness. Focus on your joy. Focus on the blessings. Like focus on that stuff and you'll get more of it, right? Good old marriage tip we learned in marriage counseling, right? All this therapy we take over time to get ourselves good. They say, hey, no, normally you're focused on what your spouse is not doing. You're focused on what your spouse is not giving you. You're focused on what your spouse is, where they're falling short. If you switched your focus and you just focused on the things that they are doing, even if it's few and far between, even if it's not consistent, if you just focus on the things they are doing, you're going to get more of it. It's going to give a more positive outcome, right? You have children, you're raising children. Focus, help them focus on the things they are good at. Don't constantly tell them the things that they got to improve and get better with and that they're not doing and how they got to, like, that's not always the focus. The focus has got to also be on, hey, I'm glad you did that well. Hey, thank you so much for cleaning up your mess. Thank you so much for doing the dishes. The one time out of the month that you did it, I'm still going to focus on that, right? I'm not going to tell you the other days, like, oh, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. No, the one time, that's what I'm going to focus on. And then watch that improve. Watch you get more of the result that you want. It's important. He also said about the focus, ask yourself better questions. Our quality of our life comes down to the quality of the questions we ask ourselves. The quality of your life will come down to the quality of the questions you ask yourself. You ask yourself bad questions, you get bad answers. Why am I poor? Why am I bad with money? It's because you like spending, right? It's because, like you said, why am I fat? Why am I lazy? It's because you're a slob, right? You're gonna get bad answers. If you start asking yourself better questions, how could I make this happen? How could my future be better? How could I improve in my financial life? Like if you start asking better questions, you'll get better answers. And that's your focus. Then your life changes. Then the habits of your life change. Why? Because your thinking is changing. That's how all this plays together. The third thing he said after physiology and focus, he said, change your language. Change your language. We hear this all the time in 177 mental toughness secrets. When we talk about it, you always hear what? Hey, fix your language. Your language is powerful. Whether it's mental imagery, whether it's what you say to other people, whether it's what you say to yourself. How talk well to yourself. If you can't speak well to yourself, who are you expecting to speak well to you? Right? If you can't speak well to yourself, if you can't applaud yourself, if you can't tell yourself how good you are, if you can't talk good to you, it's really hard to talk well to others and have other people talk well to you. So you got to learn to shift your language. Shift your language. Speak better about yourself. Speak better about others. Don't talk about the gossip. And remember, I said at the beginning of this call, you probably in the month of March need to change what you're consuming. You probably need to think about what's going in your eye gates, ear gates, and mouth. You probably want to pay attention to that because man, what does it say in scripture, right? Out of the heart, the mind speaks, or out of the heart, the tongue speaks, something along those lines, right? But like, whatever you're feeding yourself, like that's what's coming out. So if you consume a bunch of news, fear, gossip, worry, that's what's going to come out. That's the same language that you're going to have. What if you consume different things? You're going to have a different language. Words are shaping you. Your words are shaping you. Get around somebody. This is a test for all of you. Get around some of your friends, the people that you're close to. Remember, we're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. You're the average of the 5 people you text the most. You're the average of the 5 people that you call and talk on the phone the most with. So audit that. Spend some time with one of them and listen to them. Listen to their words. Listen to their language. I know you might be accustomed to it because they're your friend, your family. You've known them for 20 years. You've known them for 10 years, right? You're just kind of used to it. But listen next time you talk to them. Are they got empowering language? Is it always fear? Is it gossip? Is it worry? Is it problems? Do they lift you up? Do they speak well? Like listen to the people around you because that probably has an impact on your life. But you got to pay attention because the words you're around, the words you're using are shaping you. Then he said you need to have a compelling future. Thank you, Ron. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Way to come through, chat. Way to come through. Anyway, compelling future. That's the next thing. A compelling future. We talk about this all the time. What's your why? If your why is big enough, if your why is big enough, you'll go through anything. If your why is big enough, you'll put yourself through any pain. If your house is burning down and everyone made it out and all you got to do is go back in and get your couch, you might not want to do that. You're like, yeah, I'll get another couch. I'm not going to go into the burning fire to get a couch. But if your child is in there, you are going to do whatever it takes to sprint back in there, put yourself in the pain, and get your child, right? That's all that matters. It just matters what your why is. Because then you'll be willing to put yourself through any of the pain. You'll be willing to go through the adversity. You'll be willing to go through the ups and downs. Like you're willing to do it because your compelling vision, why you're doing it is so important. So if you don't have that yet, we got to start focusing on that. The last thing he said is the identity that shapes your choices. Do you have the identity that shapes your choices? Again, we have to raise our identity. We have to raise our identity. Albert Einstein says a problem can't be solved at the same level of consciousness that it was created. A problem can't be solved at the same level of consciousness that it was created. Meaning, wherever you were and it created this problem in your life, this challenge in your life, in your health, in your relationships, in your finances, in your business, you have to get to a new identity level in order to fix that problem. You can't stay where you are and think that that problem is going to be solved. You have to raise your identity, raise your level of consciousness so that can be fixed. So, how much are you focused on your identity? In my master plan to energize and focus, I tell you guys, I read this stuff every day, almost every day to myself. One of the things I say in there is in my financial plan, I say, my identity is that of someone making seven figures already. Our income and net worth are catching up quickly. I say that to myself. My identity is that of someone making seven figures. Our income and net worth are catching up quickly. I say that. Why? Because I know my identity will then shape my choices. If I believe that my identity is that of someone making seven figures, then I'm going to do the things of those that make seven figures. That's my identity. I'm just programming myself to have that identity. And I know my income and my net worth are catching up quickly. So that's my identity. It's going to shape my choices. So I'm going to make different choices than the person that has the identity that they're just on disability and they can't make any more money because they're scared that their disability is going to go away. Our identities are different. So I'm going to make different choices, right? That's how we got to learn to get to the life that we want, ladies and gentlemen. So this today was some teaching for you. We got to change our state if you want to get to the life that you want to. How do we change our state? We change our physiology. We change our focus. We change the language that we're using. We create that compelling vision, that why of why we're doing this, and we shift our identity so that we have the habits of someone that can achieve those things. You put in this work, your life is going to change, ladies and gentlemen. I know, easier said than done. Again, I tell you this all the time. I know this is not easy. No one said this was going to be easy. They just said it's going to be worth it. If you want to go off and design your ideal life, whatever that means to you, you got to do this work. You got to focus on this work. You got to eliminate the distractions. You got to get focused on how you are growing to become the man or woman God called you to be. Luckily, you're here on these calls and we're all doing this thing together because it's too crowded at the bottom. It's time to get to the top of this thing, right, Dana? I love you guys. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. People are counting on you to get this information. Go out there, do something amazing with it so that you can have the capacity to handle the life that you're asking for. Let's go off and make it a great Monday. I'll see you back here on Wednesday. Take care, y'all.